So this is free information you're not going to get anywhere. This my analysis on BTC, and no matter the pair you're trading, if you're planning to short any airdrop projects like cards that I recently short, uh, I recently went short on in the community, and I showed you guys how to go on it and utilize the opportunity. So cards didn't give me a good location. I just got $2 from the airdrop, but I was able to short it as soon as it was listed, and I made a little above $10 from it, same as the people that followed the signal. So here's what you're going to do. Yesterday I pulled out on the trade because I figured the price had started retracing, but unfortunately, or should I say fortunately, it wasn't just a retracement, it was a change of character. We can see that price has started going bullish. You are going to observe markets going bullish this week. This coming week is going to be really bullish because there's been a change of character and BTC is heading to the top. And we all know that BTC is a key influencer of every other project, any other coin, whatever the coin may be, Solana, uh, Ethereum, whatever it is. BTC influences their action. So whatever is happening in BTC, BTC is their orga. Anything is doing, every other pair is just going to follow it. You understand? So here's my top-down analysis. I'm starting off on the daily time frame. As you can see, I've mapped out some areas, some key areas. I've mapped out psychological levels at 40,000, then 55,000, and then 70,000 and 85,000. What you'd notice is that there's a reoccurring 15,000 difference. So there's a difference in 15,000 amongst these levels. So that's how I was able to map out these levels. I'll be dropping a video on how I mapped out levels, how to figure out the exact levels to map out for a psychological level. But then what you should note is that there are areas where you can find strong momentum in the market, and it is usually areas that occurred like in 5 pips, 10 pips, something like that. So you just have to look at the market and find out what exactly are your key confluences to reason why your psychological level should be mapped out at such areas. You can see right here, market dropped, and the moment it tapped into the psychological level, you can see the market went quite bullish, and then it got to this other psychological level, and you can see a retracement to the downside. So you can see that each time market touches these psychological levels that I have mapped out, there's always a reaction to it. Just like here again, you can see price went a bit bullish, then came down into the psychological level to peak momentum, then went bullish, came down into the level again, couldn't break it, then went bullish. Same thing. So each time market touches the psychological level, there is a difference. So even in this bearish move here, you can see how price dipped, and then it came to retrace on the psychological level. The moment it tapped into the psychological level, it continued dipping. So I mean, you can check and find out back test and really figure out why this works out. But yet there are key things that I check out when I'm trying to enter a trade. I use psychological level, then I check the trend of the market. You should remember that trend is your friend. Always go along with the trend. So if it's bullish, you should be looking to buy. So if the trend is bearish, that's if it's selling. If it's shorting, if it's going down, you should be looking to sell. So right here and the daily time frame, after setting up my psychological levels, I can see here that price was bullish on this point here. You can see price was bullish, and it came down for a retracement, went bullish again, broke this previous structure, and then it couldn't make any further structure structures. After it broke this one, it came down for a retracement, which we thought it was a retracement, according to what I'm seeing here. And then next thing, instead of it to go and make a new high, it continued making lower highs and lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. So you see that the trend changed, and it became bearish. So as it got to this point, this was oversold. Whenever market is oversold, which means whenever market has gone down so much, you can see price going bearish. But this can alternate. It's not always like that. There could be a news event, there could be a reason to why price has changed. So you can see price going back up again. Mind you, there's a psychological level here. I just didn't map it out. That's why you can see that price did not break out from this level. I'll just put it out here so you can see. So you can see that this is a psychological level. You see why psychological levels matter. And if I should place another one in between these two, you see that okay, but I don't want to have so many levels. I just want to concentrate on where I'm currently trading. So I'm just going to delete that. So as I was saying, markets went, after touching this level, it went bullish all the way here, and broke out the previous high. So you can see how what makes a bullish market is a consistency of higher lows and higher highs. So you can see this was a higher low, then this is a higher high, a higher low, a higher high. Then price came all the way down, took out all the liquidity sitting below here, and then came to this psychological level, and then went bullish and broke out this previous high. So you can see that we are still bullish actually. So on the big picture, we can see that we are bullish. Further confluences to why we are bullish is right here. You can see price tapping into this trend line beneath this psychological level. Is beneath this psychological level, and it tapped into this trend line, then it went bullish, and then it came here and then made a retracement in between these two key psychological levels I drew at 55,000 and 40,000. And then when it went in between them, it found a resistant level, then came down here, touched this psychological level at 40,000 for a retracement, for a support, not a resistance, a support. Here's a resistance. When you're bearish, this is a resistance and this is a support. So you came for, when you're bullish, because we're actually on a bull trend, we're going bullish. So price came down here into the psychological level and went bullish after making the second touch on this trend line, and then you can see how it's been consolidating up until this point where it came down here and tapped into this trend line, and it made the third touch. Usually on a trend line, the third touch on the trend line, the third one is usually very strong. Whenever there's a third touch on a trend line, you can see market going quite bullish and even extending and breaking the previous high and making higher highs if it's a bearish market. So here you can see the consistency of things. After price had touched here and made the third point, again bullish, and you can see how price has been going bullish from then and got to this point. Then came a little bit of retracement into this new trend line, and made the second touch on the trend line, and we can see how price went up and broke this previous structure, which validates that we are on uptrend currently. So I'll just zoom into the 4 hours so we can see this clearly. So top down analysis, I've left the daily time frame, I'm now in my 4 hours time frame, and we can see here, I remember that what makes an uptrend is series of higher lows and higher highs. So you can see that price dipped into this place, made this trend line, made the first touch, went bullish, came here for a retracement, then came back into this trend line, exceeded the trend line a bit, got its support from this second point touch of the trend line, went bullish and broke this previous structure. So if I was to map out all these areas, I'll just draw a level here to show that, okay, this was the previous structure, and then anytime it gets taken out, you know that the structure is still bearish, it's still bullish, that's still going up. So you can see I mapped out that area, and you can see how price just beautifully tapped into this area, then dipped, came for a retracement, and then it broke the structure. So whenever there's a break of structure, it means that the trend has continued. So as it broke the structure, it came back down for the retracement to fill up all this liquidity. So there's liquidity sitting here. So you can see how price came into this level, tapped it, and made the third point touch. So I'm just going to zoom in again so you could see. So price came into this level, tapped here, and we can see how price went bullish. That's the reason why Bitcoin had been bullish for the past 24 hours. So we can expect price to continue bullish and exceed this previous high, because it's all about breaking structure and continuing. And we can see how it did that in the previous. It broke the high. After making the third point touch, we expect price to continue going bullish. So there's no two ways around it. So this is the next level we're expecting price to come and break. So price is most likely going to break this level and continue bullish. Another thing to note is that this is a third point. This is the first touch on this trend line. This is an inner trend. So we'll just go into 1 hour so we can view that even clearly. So see how beautiful the structure is, consistently beautiful. So you can see price came to this level, tapped on the first trend, the first touch on the downtrend, then dipped all the way down, and then got to this point. It went up again for a retracement, tapped into the trend line, made the second touch, it dipped, broke this previous structure. We would say this is a downtrend, but we're actually bullish, and this point is where we had the third point touch on the uptrend, and then you can see how price went bullish, and it's very consistent. You can see all the greenish, the bullish candles, which indicates that there's strong buys in the market. So we can expect price to break this this trend, because this is an in trend, like it's not really a downtrend. It's just a level to map out where price has to break before it continues really bullish. So we're just going to go down into the 30 minutes time frame and we can see how price is breaking the levels. So just like I mapped out that downtrend, you can see an inner trend again. This is another one. There's a first point touch on this downtrend. There's another, and then it dropped, came back for retracement, made the second point touch. I'm just going to take away this this indicator so it doesn't get all clouded. So right there, you can see how price just came, tapped on this trend line, dipped, made a retracement, tapped on it, made a second touch, it dipped again, and then we can see how price is breaking this level, which means if you were to take a buy, or you're already in for a buy, you should be stacking up positions here, because this is a breakout. So what will only happen here is we can see price is going to just continue making more highs. It's just as it has broken out, it will just break out like this, make a little bit of retracement here, and we can see price continue going upwards like that until we get to the next key level. And remember, I'm mapping out levels by 4, so we definitely expect price to come into this level. Price is definitely going to break the level and keep going bullish and even get to the next. So this is where it's going to get to the next high, and definitely will exceed it and continue bullish to get this psychological level at 70,000. Remember, I drew out psychological levels in intervals of 15,000. This was the last psychological level, the previous one 55,000. So we expect price to head to 70,000 from where it currently is sitting, because this is a very strong level. This is a resistant level, and most definitely price will break it, and when it does, it's just going to continue bullish till it gets to the next psychological level. So this is my analysis on BTC. So this analysis is going to influence every other pair, every other coin, every other token. So this is just what's going to happen. As it's going bullish, every other token is just going to join it and go bullish. So we can see how I mapped it out already, so we can see how price is going to react. When it gets to the psychological level, there's going to be a retracement to the downside, and price will continue. It will retrace again and continue. So that's just how this plays out. So this is not a financial advice. You could just use this to anticipate what the market is going to do. We're actually very much bullish right now, and this can and will influence every other coin. All right, you can do your own research, back test.